by no way it can be called an election. It's a selection in the name of election. It's a mockery of democracy and unnecessarily expending of the public money.
Welcome to the Gist on Strat News Global. I'm Ramananda Sengupta. Today we'll be talking about the just concluded Bangladesh elections. And our very special guest is Major Retired M. Sarwar Hossain, a Lincoln's Inn barrister and a practicing lawyer in the Supreme Court of Bangladesh. Mr. Hossain has served in the Bangladesh Army for 20 years before taking voluntary retirement as a major and turning to the legal profession. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir. I realize you were short of time and I appreciate you taking time out for us.
Thank you very much for inviting me in your program.
Thank you, sir. So let's take it right from the top. You know, the just concluded elections where Sheikh Hasina won by an overwhelming majority. The Americans have cast sort of doubts on that, saying that it was neither free nor fair. What are your views on that?
Thank you very much. It's not only American. The same view has been expressed by Canada, EU, UN, and UK. If you look at the statistics in Bangladesh elections, so far there were 12 elections, including this recently concluded election.
Right.
Eight of the 12 elections were held under the party in power, and 4 elections were conducted under caretaker government system.
Right.
In the eight elections conducted by the party in power, every time the party in power came back to power, won the election and came back to power. That means the leadership in the parties, those who have conducted the election under their regime, failed to ensure free, fair, and participatory election. Whereas the caretaker government, 4 elections, every time the incumbent government was changed and new government came up. That means in that elections conducted by the caretaker arrangement, people could elect their representative. People could make their choice to choose their representative. So unfortunately in Bangladesh, we didn't have a leader so far who can really hold the trust of the people's voting right to choose their representative. Has miserably failed. And people in Bangladesh now don't believe there can be a free, fair, and participatory election under the party system. In this election, the result was predetermined. It was just a stress management. What we understand, Awami League, the first strategy of Awami League was to keep the major political party out of election.
Right.
So you see, there was a movement in 28th October last year, and because of some questionable incidents, which has been, most of the people believe that has been done by the agent saboteur to harass the opposition. And within no time, the second man of Bangladesh Nationalist Party, BNP, was arrested, and followed by thousands of arrests. That was enough that BNP won't participate in this election. So the regime succeeded in their first strategy to keep away the major political party, a major challenger of them out of election. And And after that, it was their arranged game. It was their arranged game. There was none who can be compared with the head of Awami League, that he can be a prime minister. So it was not an election to change the regime. It was an election to select few MPs, and the member of parliament, it was distributed. So election was like that. Awami League 18, Awami League B team, Awami League C team. Awami League A team, those who have got their symbol both. Awami League B team, those who have got other symbols like eagle and others. And Awami League C team means what so-called 14 party alliance and Jatiyo party, all those. So it was just a bargaining who can be MP, and being a MP and not being an MP makes huge difference. Like that, MP means he can earn lot of money. He can be millionaire. He can be billionaire. So MP means whoever come to this position, he gets a tax-free vehicle and many benefits, and can make money that way he feel like. In the affidavit submitted by the contesting member of parliament candidates, it has been seen their wealth has been increased by 100 times, 1,000 times. To some cases, more than lakhs. One MP has increased his wealth by 244 times in 15 years.
My God, okay.
So by no way it can be called an election. It's a selection in the name of election. It's a mockery of democracy and unnecessarily expending of the public money. The conducting of a national election cost minus plus 2,000 crore taka. So it was just a expending of people's money out of nothing. So that's why there is an argument that if Awami League like to continue in power, they could very well pass a bill in the parliament, because parliament was in existence in the parliament, that this regime will continue for another 5 years. Thereby, the country could save 2,000 crore taka.
I see. But
you see,
there is...
Okay, go on.
Sorry, I'll interrupt you for a second. There is also the counter argument that the BNP could have still contested, right? Instead of just saying we will keep boycotting it every time, if the BNP had actually said, no, we will contest, wouldn't that have made it free and fair?
No, BNP could have participated. BNP participated in 2018. But the ground reality is that, the ground scenario is that Awami League create a situation that if BNP would have participated, they would have made a different scenario and ensure that they come back to power. In the ground, before 6 months of election, the main opposition, the ground level leaders would have been arrested or would have been groomed in some cases, enforced disappearance, and facing dozens of false cases. So they would have made a scenario. Those who would have voted for Awami League, they will create a reign of terror in a manner that they will not come to the polling station, and thereby they will manipulate. They will cast and seal the ballot paper the way they feel like. In 2014 also, they could very well successful to keep BNP away from the election, and a financial one-party election they conducted. They came to power. In 2018, when BNP participated, there was a night election, that is called a night election. 60% vote vote were stopping before night, from night 2. And this year, 2024, the stopping was instead of night of 2018, in 2024, the stopping was done in daytime, in 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. in many polling stations. So in this election, they followed three systems, where 2 Awami League candidates. In few candidates there were competing elections.
Okay.
Where there is Awami League and some dummy candidates, they stopped the ballots, and some candidate came by the mercy of this regime where there had been no competitor. In Bangladesh, this is known as Ukil Sattar type election. Ukil Sattar participated in a by-election where there had been no other candidates. So this is known as, in Bangladesh, Ukil Sattar type election. Few candidates won by this style, Ukil Sattar type election. So this election has been held, and if you see the comments in Deutsche Welle, the reporter said that 2% voter turnout. In an interview by one of the professor of Sri Radha Dotto, she teaches in Jindal Global University.
Right.
Jindal Global University. She commented that the voter participation maybe around 10%. Maybe around 10%. So and BBC,
I think we lost you there for a second.
Voice of America and all other foreign media, they commented that the election is far beyond the international norms. It was not participatory, neither free or fair.
But there are reports that also claim 40% attendance. I mean, 40% voting.
Oh, it is an orchestration. That never happened. Nobody believes that. There were many polling stations. We have seen many social media videos where presiding officer, assistant presiding officer, and their staffs is stuffing the ballots in daytime. So the regime felt that they can do it, and they have done it. And few manipulated observers came from Russia, from your country, and from some African country. Even those are the state guests. They said that they will not be allowed. They will not be allowed to visit every polling station. So it was just an arranged game. The election system in Bangladesh has been totally broken down. Not only for the parliamentary election, for any elections, including the local government election, the election system has totally been broken in Bangladesh.
I see. But now that you technically still have a government that is run by Sheikh Hasina again, what do you think her main priorities will be this time around? Will it be just to keep the opposition down? Will it be to actually add for... I remember that she said that, if I made any mistakes, allow me to correct it during our campaign. Do you think she will actually sort of, ask what mistakes she has made?
I think this is beyond capacity of Awami League. Under Awami League, every leadership has a peak time. If you consider when was the peak time for this prime minister, probably this is 96 to 2001. Now coming to power again in 2009, only we saw the erosion of every system, decaying of every system, democracy, rule of law, justice, and most importantly, weakening the all institutions. In Bangladesh, all institution has been weakened. So the ethical behavior among the peoples has been erupted. Nobody feels a crime, lying, even in some cases rapes. They don't consider that this is offense. They feel that they can do anything. So that's why there is a perception that since independence, no political party, including Awami League, could deliver this rule of law, justice. This is just a plundering by the party person, and when they make a lot of money and they launder this money to make their safe haven outside.
I see.
They have no commitment to the people. If Awami League, they have declared a manifesto where they have told that one of the agenda of the manifesto is zero tolerance to the corruption. Whereas the bank looters still walk free. They are not prosecuted. They are not prosecuted. And many banks, the banking system has been plundered. Economy is in the dangerous condition. So you see, so you could not do in last 15 years. How can you do in coming years? If you can do it as per your declared manifesto, people will welcome. What is happening in the name of democracy? Rather, people of Bangladesh will appreciate a benevolent autocrat. If she can turn to be a benevolent autocrat, can control her family members and relatives, probably she will be able to, probably. But nobody believes that it is in the capacity and in the capability of Awami League to bring rule of law, justice, and keep the state system free of corruption.
I see. What do you think about the argument that, with the BNP being the main opposition party and the BNP is one of the main supporters being the Jamaat, that if the BNP comes to power, Bangladesh will go the sort of, radical way? Is that a chance? Is that is that a valid argument?
I don't think that Bangladesh will go in the radical way. Bangladesh is a Muslim majority country, but the people of Bangladesh are peace-loving, harmonious, and having a peaceful coexistence with people of all religions and castes. In our childhood, I have so many friends, school friends, belong to Hindu community. Many of them have migrated around the world, including India. We used to visit all the Hindu festivals with happiness and joy. So the community relations, the relations among the different religion, Muslim and Hindu, was never a problem in Bangladesh. Only it is the dirty politics. Who made it as an issue. There were no communal disharmony in Bangladesh. The Hindu people feel at home with the Muslims residing around, staying around, and vice versa. So it is the dirty politics who always made issue. It is the Awami League who always made the issue.
I see. Because, if I remember right, I was in Bangladesh in 2005 or 6 or around that time, once for the SARC summit. And I remember that at that time, the BNP was, supposedly spearheading the anti sort of, the religion, the pro-Muslim kind of a lobby. And, that they were persecuting outsiders. But has that changed? Do you think subsequently it's the Awami League who did that?
No, look, when Awami League came to power when Awami League lost power in 2001, they got allegations that minorities were tortured.
Mm-hmm.
This looked like orchestrated and a standbaji of politics. Why I'm saying that? Because if that has happened actually in 2001, why none of them are prosecuted? As per the law, nobody is prosecuted. So that is a political standbaji that when it became to power and a persecution against the minority has been taken place. In many discussions, we have raised this issue that if that is a fact, you are in power for last 15 years. Why you have not brought that offender to justice? There is no answer.
Right.
So this remains rather in our area, Pirozpur district in Bangladesh, in 2012 or 13, from one village, 21 families of Hindu community were compelled to leave the country because of the reason on Awami League person. He was a local union parishad chairman. He will grab the land. He will grab the land. That's why 21 Hindu families were forced to leave the country. That happened during Awami League regime. So this came in the newspaper. So in some perceptions goes like that the Hindu community are the captive voters of Awami League. So they can do that way feel like. Rather, when Awami League is not in power, like the Ishad regime, war PNP
Okay. I think again,
this is my understanding that that the minority community remain in more safe. Minority community remain in more safer condition. You can just carry out a research on that.
You know, what are the implications of this BNP's sort of India out program, which they've recently announced? I mean, is that something that they've taken as a leaf from the Maldives, or is it a serious threat?
Look, if you remember on comment by your eminent journalist, Mr. Kuldeep Nayar, he on stage before a visit, probably in 2014, by Mr. Modi in Bangladesh, that anti-Indian sentiment in Bangladesh is ever high. And the visit by the Prime Minister in that time, probably that was the Corona time, just Corona has erupted, the Corona outbreak has taken place. So Kuldeep Nayar has expired, he has died. So there are many reasons that why anti-Indian feelings in Bangladesh is rising. Is rising. This is nothing to do with the people's to people's relations. We have many friends in India, and we always say our friends that Indian people is our good friends. We like to mix up with them. There were when I was in army as a peacekeeper in Iraq-Kuwait border, we used to invite our Indian friends. We heard from our parents in our village house during the time of liberation. 200 Hindu families were sheltered in our village home. 200 Hindu families, because the adjacent village was Hindu family, and just our village is Muslim oriented village. So that was the relationship with the Hindu community. So why this anti-Indian sentiment is rising? There are many issues. And if I can share with some of the issues, you see the water sharing issue. Now the border issue. You see the even 500 crore taka has been given to India for Corona tika. Neither tika has been given, nor money has been returned. Now, in the name of the capacity charge, we feel that the India is plundering. You are not giving on watt of electricity. You made an agreement that in the name of capacity you will take thousands crore taka, just not giving a single drop of electricity, single watt of electricity. Then the illegal worker in Bangladesh, as per the report of the various dailies. This is a Bangla daily color gonto. See, this is written here. Every year, $10 billion is being taken away from Bangladesh by the illegal worker from Bangladesh to India, and India become the third or fourth remittance earner country from Bangladesh. So do our friends, do India allow any Bengali to work in India going into the tourist visa? The answer is no. So to develop the relations between India and Bangladesh, India should address this issue. Okay, if we need workforce, if we need technical people, you come lawfully, you come legally. So where the Bangladeshi citizens are dying in the search of the job, from the Bay of Bengal to Mediterranean Sea, and every family has unemployment problem. Where
it's the Bangladeshi law that is at fault. It is not the Indians. I mean, if you look at it that way, if the Bangladeshi law allows you to come and work on a tourist visa, then what can anybody do?
No, my dear, Bangladeshi law does not allow. The law is very clear. So where this issue has recently come in the forefront because of the economic downfall, because of the Indian pressure, because of the Indian influence, Bangladeshi government, especially Ministry of Home Affairs, do not take any action. So it's not a good neighboring gesture that your people come and occupy the job market of Bangladeshi people. So this affects everyone. So if I can show you some reports, this is a book written by the former Foreign Secretary, where it has been written the uneven relations, the equality and the dependence. The relations has developed between India and Bangladesh like that India follows a foreign policy that in Bangladesh everybody will depend for everything on India. So he has written, I translate, in Bangladesh, in many important appointments, the concept of India is required. He has given another interview this is in Bangla, where he has written, in Bangladesh, in very appointments, India intervened. This professor, Srirada Dotto, he said, the Indian interest in Bangladesh, first, the way India feels safe, they will follow that foreign policy. In that regards, the democracy in Bangladesh is not the main consideration. Is not the main consideration. So the people of Bangladesh feels that democracy, rule of law, justice has been undermined, has been diminished by Indian intervention. This has become a very big issue. The way they have intervened in 2014 election, where General Ershad didn't want to participate in the election, and the Foreign Secretary of India, Mrs. Sushma Swaraj, came and intervened. It was a direct intervention in democracy. It is a choice of a party, not participate or not to participate. So these all factors is mounting in the feelings that India is following that age-old foreign policy that the neighbors are either enemy or slave. It's not a friendly state. The recent coin of the foreign policy, what neighbor first, it is only the lip service. It is not in the reality. If it is in reality, the India should make relations with the people of Bangladesh, not with the party. One of the ambassador of India went to the Awami League office and expressed that it is only Awami League who is the friend of India. So this all has come together to raise a very high anti-Indian sentiment. And in politics, many will try to play on that. Many will try to play on that, like Mr. Moju.
I agree, but there are also times when you tend to blame another country not on the basis of actual reason, but just because to get political points as well, I suppose. It's always easy to say that it is because of that country that we are in trouble or that particular community, but that's a different story altogether, sir. But now that you're saying that both the Awami League and, the BNP and, whoever has been in power, they've not really been able to deliver in that sense, what do you think is the alternative? As you said, benevolent dictatorship also is probably not a happy thought.
No, no good politics is going on in Bangladesh. You see, after liberation, the main essence of the liberation war was democracy, because of the election result of 1970 was not honored by Pakistan, and that led to the independence of Bangladesh. So the main essence was democracy, rule of law, justice, equality. Nothing is there. Those parties coming to power only just serve themselves. So that's why a feelings is dominated in the minds of the people that these two biggest party has really failed to deliver. That's why you see we criticize BNP for this, that why people are not coming to the street. It is only their supporter and party man, they are coming to the street. Right. So this is two factors. One, the leadership failure. Two, the suppression by the government. Two, the suppression by the ruling government. So right. This has combined that people are not taking to the street. The revolution is not hanging, and India is always beside Awami League. Just remember the comment of Mr. Momen, former foreign minister in last regime. He said in Bangladesh that in a meeting with the in a puja meeting, that we have requested our Indian friends, please make sure that Awami League comes to power. And this foreign minister, Mr. Hassan, just took his office before 2 or 3 days. He said that in 2014 election, India was with us. In 2018 election, India was us. And in 2024 election, India is with us. So people have a question: is he a minister of Bangladesh or is he a minister of India? This question will come. So this type of expression, this type of comment, really arouse the situation in a bigger way.
Of course, it does. But that is the question that I think Bangladeshis will have to now answer. The question that you asked as to whether he is a.
No, I believe India, our friends in India should take a lesson from Marshall Plan that was launched after World War II in Western Europe by America, opening their own market so that they can prosper economically, and economic prosperity ensure their security. So you see that from Spain, from France, UK to Germany, they developed in the same path, and that ensured their security as a region. Our history is a single history. Before 1947, we had been the single country. We are now 3 countries. These regions should develop equally equally. It should be a policy. It should be a policy of accommodation and development. The big brotherly attitude, the notion of hegemony, the Indira doctrine. India should review their foreign policy. India should come absolutely with a cooperative and accommodative approach in foreign policy. They are the concept of Chanukya or Koichullo, that neighbors are your slave or enemy. India has to remove that concept, the very concept. India has to follow a modern foreign policy. A modern foreign policy implies the policy of cooperation, policy of friendship, policy of accommodation.
Well, I think that's what they preach in the neighborhood first policy, but you're saying that that's probably not working. I'm afraid we're running out of time, sir. So on that note, we try to close this interview today. Thank you so much for giving a very
Thank you very much.
It was a very, very different perspective compared to what we've been hearing so far.
Yes.
So I appreciate your being, honest with us on that particular aspect. I may or may not agree with everything that you said, but that's a different story. You're the person in Bangladesh, so you know best. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us, and I look forward to having you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That was barrister and political analyst, Major retired M. Sarwar Hossain, talking to us about the recent Bangladesh elections and why he thinks that, this was more of a selection rather than an election, and why the foreign observers, many of them actually say that elections were neither free nor fair. I do hope you enjoyed this version of the gist today, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.